Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Thursday, August 14th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. PBC promises Georgetown a business development complex to support entrepreneurs. Vice President Jagdeo says video evidence of Mohamed visiting the Venezuelan embassy exists. And head coach of the Ghana Amazon Warriors says player workload is key to CPL success. The People's Progressive Party Civic has promised to construct a small business development complex in Georgetown to benefit local entrepreneurs if re-elected. This was disclosed by President Dr. Irfan Ali during a massive public meeting in Alexander Village last evening.
Look at what is encircling your village. Hotels, malls, hospitals, industrial development, manufacturing, services, warehousing, new housing, expanded stadium, and soon to come, a small business development complex.
Dr. Ali added that the initiative aims to provide a permanent, well-equipped home for dozens of small-scale operators, including mechanics, spray painters, and other bottom-house businesses who currently work in cramped or makeshift spaces. He described the development as transformative investment that will not only boost business efficiency, but also improve the quality of life for surrounding communities.
Because your quality of life depends on your quality of neighborhood. And we want, when you come home from work, that you can live in a quality neighborhood. That is why that small business development complex of 30 acres will provide security, safety, services, infrastructure for all our small businesses to be relocated to.
Dr. Ali said the facility will have proper infrastructure, utilities, security, and organized workspaces, allowing small business owners to operate more efficiently, expand their services, and create jobs. According to the president, once on stream, the project will be a catalyst for youth employment, aligning with the government's broader strategy to ensure young people benefit directly from Ghana's rapid economic growth. The complex, he noted, will also help tackle traffic congestion and safety concerns by relocating these activities away from narrow residential roads, while contributing to a cleaner and more peaceful neighborhood environment. A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, is also rolling out policies for young people. The party says if elected, it will give young people access to grants and low-interest loans. In a statement for National Youth Day 2025, the party said this will include a youth empowerment scheme, a National Youth Investment Fund, and a permanent consultative body to ensure youth voices are part of decision-making. National Chairman of the Ghana Youth and Student Movement, Kibwe Copeland, speaking at a campaign rally in Orange Walk, Georgetown, also promised support for national youth athletes.
We will have a people-centered government. We will have a government that will invest in our young people, in sport. You know, if you listen to our press conferences, you've heard leaders said before, we will invest in our athletes. We will make sure they're insured. Insurance for national athletes. Insurance. Once you're a national athlete, you will be insured.
Copeland added APNU will ensure that youth athletes are given the necessary resources to compete. He further said that young people will be placed at the center of decision-making.
You will see young people in cabinet, young people as ministers, young people as parliamentarians. You will see young people, male, female, of all ethnic groups, leading and pushing this country forward.
The party's wide agenda includes a modernized stock exchange, more public service training, monthly cash transfers, business grants, and sustainable agriculture initiatives. Vice President and General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Dr. Jagdeo, yesterday claimed that video evidence exists of U.S.-sanctioned businessman Azin Mohamed entering the Venezuelan embassy in Guyana. This comes on the heels of the bombshell revelation made early this week that the Mohammeds had applied for Venezuelan visas. This was later denied by Azin Mohamed in a statement on Tuesday evening.
Why are the Mohammeds applying now for a visa to Venezuela of all countries in the world? Because Venezuela does not have an extradition treaty with the United States of America. And the links are being formulated. Watch about it. Watch what will happen over the next few days, because I hope he will deny that too, because there is video evidence of the Mohammeds going into the Venezuelan embassy.
Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana, Carlos Amador Perez Silva, has since been summoned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation over concerns as to the purpose of the frequent visits by the Mohammeds to his embassy. Meanwhile, Dr. Jagdi urged Guyanese not to place their trust in a candidate who has no experience in managing large projects, much less managing the entire country.
They have no experience in managing even a department of government, much less a country and a presidency with all of its complexities. You have to deal on a daily basis with a whole range of issues. You have to keep the country safe from external aggression. You have to represent us abroad. And none of them have even an iota of capability to do that.
Recently, the U.S. announced a U.S. $50 million reward for information that would lead to the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly described Maduro as a dictator and accused him of being one of the world's largest narco-traffickers, responsible for despicable crimes that threaten U.S. national security. On June 11, 2024, OFAC imposed sanctions on Nazar Mohamed, his son Ashuddin, and their companies, Mohammed's Enterprise and Hadi's World Incorporated. According to OFAC, between 2019 and 2023, Mohammed's Enterprise underdeclared more than 10,000 kilograms of gold, evading over US $50 million in duties and taxes. When we return, CXC results set for release. Hundreds of persons with disabilities get specialized counseling. And new mobility aids delivered to families along the East Bank.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. Students will soon find out their CXC results, and the Education Minister is hopeful for improved performance this year. Students who wrote the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, and Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC exams will get the results tomorrow. Education Minister Priya Manik Chan confirmed that the Caribbean Examinations Council will release Ghana's results on Friday, August 15th at 2 p.m. Students can view them online via the CXC student portal. While in Region 1 yesterday for the commissioning of the new Waramuri Secondary School, the minister shared the announcement and her optimism.
We are going to be announcing the CXC results on Friday, the 15th of August. That's Friday coming. And my fingers are crossed that we've done better.
Manichan noted a poor math performance across the Caribbean last year prompted CXC to roll out new programs in 2026, but Ghana moved early, ruling out targeted interventions to give students a better chance this year.
We implemented a new intervention where we gave to all our children scientific calculators, graph books, all the textbooks, past papers organized by topics, geometry sets, all that they needed, including monitoring in the classrooms to make sure the syllabus was finishing and teaching was happening effectively and learning was actually happening. And so we're really looking forward to those results.
The interventions included free textbooks, geometry sets, past papers, and tighter classroom monitoring to make sure lessons were delivered and syllabuses complete. The ministry says these steps, alongside new modern secondary schools, are part of Ghana's push for universal secondary education. In the social security sector, more than 400 persons with disabilities have received specialized guidance and counseling through a partnership between the Office of the First Lady and the Ghana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities. Funded by the First Lady's office, the program uses trained counselors who also live with disabilities, creating a peer-to-peer connection that builds trust, especially with young people facing educational, personal, and career challenges. First Lady Ari Ali says these interventions help beneficiaries identify strengths, set goals, and build the confidence to thrive in a society that often overlooks them. Over the past 4 years, the First Lady Office has expanded disability-focused efforts beyond vocational training and small business support to include advocacy for accessible infrastructure and broader social participation. Earlier this year, her office launched a Center for Equity, Opportunity, and Innovation, the first of its kind in the Caribbean, employing nearly 100 persons with disabilities and offering training, entrepreneurship, and accessible workspaces to promote inclusion. Several families in Grove Diamond received wheelchairs through the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Difficult Circumstances Unit, part of a national push to deliver mobility aids directly into communities. The outreach was part of a wider exercise at the Herstelling Little Diamond and Grove to Diamond NDCs, where more than 70 residents got free eye tests and will soon receive prescription glasses. About 30 vulnerable persons also received walkers and canes, while probation and social services officers helped with pension and public assistance applications. First among the recipients was Mr. Prasad, who collected a wheelchair for his wife living with Parkinson's disease.
She has Parkinson's, right? She just friendly, she can't do nothing, she's got to do everything you say. Right? And I'm glad to get this wheelchair. They said the chair is here. And how long I went here was go away because she alone at home. Right? When she got to go to the bathroom or the toilet, I got her chair. Everything I got to bed chair, everything.
The Difficult Circumstances Unit also provides urgent help beyond mobility aids, from hampers to funeral support and fire relief, with $71 million spent so far this year. The Ministry of Health estimates about 50,000 people, or 6.4% of the population, live with a disability. The government has been expanding the budget to offer even more assistance to these individuals and families. In 2023, 465 persons with disabilities received assistive aids, and the government budgeted for a further 600 in 2024. So far this year, 73 persons in Regions 2 to 5 had already benefited. This includes Ms. Rajkumari, who received a wheelchair from her bedridden son-in-law.
I received this wheelchair from my son-in-law, Mohamed. He's bedridden, damaged spine, and so I'm happy to let him have this wheelchair.
The ministry says the Difficult Circumstances Unit will continue these community outreaches along the East Bank and across the regions, building on last year's distributions in places like Region 6 and earlier drives that have invested tens of millions of dollars to reach vulnerable families. A 23-year-old man from Timeri is dead after a hit-and-run crash on the Supply Public Road, East Bank, Demerara. Police say Alex Versad had just stepped out of a parked lorry when another lorry, driven by 30-year-old David Ragnott of Soesdijk, slammed into the vehicle and then struck him. Ragnott allegedly sped off without stopping. Public-spirited citizens rushed unconscious Versad to the New Diamond Regional Hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. Investigators later found the suspect's lorry locked and abandoned at Sierra Johanna. That same evening, police arrested Ragnott during an operation at the Demerara Harbor Bridge overpass. He remains in custody at the Providence Police Station as investigations continue. When we come back, we'll have updates on the Ghana Amazon Warriors as they prepare for the CPL, and Newcastle's move to sign Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. First up, Ghana Amazon Warriors head coach Lance Klusener shares his plan for CPL success. Klusener says that effectively managing players' workload will be crucial to the team's success in the 2025 Caribbean Premier League (CPL). The South African great shared this view during a virtual press conference earlier today.
Ideally, if we can select from a full squad for as many games as possible, that'll be something that we'll be aiming for. The likes of Shep and Shay and Shamar and those guys that have played a lot. It's more about just making sure that they're fresh for the games. We're not too stressed on how much gets done in terms of preparation, as long as they're mentally and physically ready to go on game day. That's the most important.
Klusener also noted the team has enjoyed a strong preseason camp in preparation for the tournament.
I think like most teams, we've had a really productive bit of a preseason camp back in Guyana. So, the boys got here day before yesterday, and then most of our West Indies contingent arrived yesterday, and one or two will dribble in today. So, yeah, we should be all in by this evening. As long as we're all in by tomorrow evening, that'll be good. So, yeah, it's been really productive.
The 2025 CPL bowls off tonight, with the Ghana Amazon Warriors opening their campaign on August 16th against the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots at Warner Park. Newcastle United are closing in on a signing of Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey in a deal reportedly worth around €40 million. According to BBC Sport, the clubs are in advanced talks, with an agreement in principle already reached and only the finer details left to finalize. Once completed, Ramsey will undergo a medical and complete his move to St. James Park. The 24-year-old, a former England under-21 international, has scored 17 goals in 167 appearances for Villa since making his senior debut in 2019. He was a regular under Unai Emery last season. Newcastle have also signed winger Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest and AC Milan defender Malik Thiaw permanently this summer, while goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale joined on a season-long loan from Southampton earlier this month. They face off against Villa in their opening Premier League game this Saturday at 12:30 BST. Still ahead, Jamaica's main opposition launches its manifesto. Trump says Putin may be ready to strike a Ukraine peace deal and Angola's Azul Energy to expand its gas production. Welcome back. In Jamaica, the main opposition has unveiled a $5 billion plan aimed at giving the nation's seniors care, protection, and inclusion. The People's National Party is putting seniors at the heart of its bid to return to government after a decade in opposition. Launching its Jamaica Love 2025 manifesto last evening, the PNP pledged $5 billion over 5 years to support 100,000 elders. The plan promises a national framework of care, inclusion, and protection, with community-based services delivered through partnerships with churches and local groups. These include nutritious meals, personal care, wellness checks, and reliable transportation. The party also vows to pass an Elder Care and Protection Act, close the digital divide with a $750 million program for 25,000 seniors, and train and pay community caregivers. PNP President Mark Golden calls it a promise born from love of country, part of a broader push to strengthen families, empower youth, and unite Jamaicans around dignity, equity, and pride. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump says he believes Russian President Vladimir Putin is ready to make a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Speaking today ahead of their summit in Anchorage, Alaska, Trump told Fox News if the talks go well, he will call Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders afterwards. He added tomorrow's meeting is expected to set up a second and cautioned there's a 25% chance it may not succeed. Putin, meanwhile, told senior officials the U.S. is making energetic and sincere efforts to halt hostilities, adding nuclear arms control will be on the agenda. A Kremlin aide said economic ties will also be discussed. Meanwhile, Zelensky and European allies are working to prevent any deal that leaves Ukraine vulnerable, warned that Russia's only goal is to lift sanctions and secure its territorial gains. Trump has threatened severe consequences if the summit fails, and said willing allies could be part of security guarantees for Ukraine and Europe. The meeting comes amid one of the toughest phases of the war, with tens of thousands killed and millions displaced. Finally, this evening, Angola's oil and gas operator, Azul Energy, is considering drilling a second gas exploration well in the African nation, following last month's success with the country's first major gas campaign. CEO Adriana Mangini, speaking with Reuters, explained that Angola expects gas production to rise more than 20% over the next 5 years, aiming to boost exports to Europe and Asia while meeting growing domestic demand. Mangini said the country's prolific basins could hold even more untapped reserves. The first well, Gajajira 01, is estimated to hold over 1 trillion cubic feet of gas and up to 100 million barrels of condensate. Existing infrastructure could support rapid development of a second well within 2 years. The country's natural gas exports rose nearly 20% in the second quarter, with India and Spain as top markets, though revenues remain far below crude oil sales. Analysts say the success of upcoming projects will be the true test for Angola's gas monetization. Angola is targeting $60 billion in oil and gas investments over the next 5 years, planning 23 new exploration wells, 11 offshore, as it pivots from declining oil output toward a gas-driven industrialization strategy. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nekram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.